Oh boy, did I wish I had that recorded. I should have done this while I had them on the phone. I just had the assistant for the Minister of Health. Yeah, of course. Without sounding derogatory or like I'm poking a hole at someone personally, I'm not. I appreciate the call back. Poor thing, sounded quite young. I didn't insult her. I wasn't rude. I wasn't abusive, but I ensured that I wasn't cut off from being able to get a word in sideways, and I got my point across. Um, I think she was a bit put back by it at first until toward we closed the conversation, and I thanked her very much, and she apologised. I said, "Don't you apologise, love. You didn't do this. You've been left holding the basket, and I don't think that's very fair because I wanted to talk to the Minister for Health. Why? Well, there's a reason I don't vote. I didn't vote for this shit, and neither did you. But you vote. So, you know, I would vote if I had somebody to vote for. But they can't even humour the people to swear a lawful oath of office the way it's supposed to be sworn as per the Constitution. They'd rather make an affirmation promise to the state. The state is not us. That's the government. So they're representing the government to us rather than us to the government. See how that is? It's a role reversal. Now, I got all my points across, and the only sort of thing that she was left to work with, I don't think she's actually really been taught on how to serve the people as a minister or minister's assistant, but rather as a PR, thinking that it's service. It's not her fault. That's the way she's been trained and taught. Didn't realise that some people have an opinion and don't want it swept under the rug with a thank you and a sorry, and we apologise for your experience at Burnie Hospital. No, that's not what I'm about. What I'm about is everyone has a terrible experience at Burnie Hospital. How is it that even my GP is from another country, but I had no problem with her? We're actually friends. I've had her with tears on my shoulder when her husband died. She's a beautiful lady. I can go to Launceston General, where I'd never been there before in my life. Had an absolute perfect 100% caring experience that I cannot have a bad word to say about. They treated me quite well. So, I said this is about prioritisation. This is about we don't have adequate Australian doctors there. Perhaps we need to look after our Australian doctors a bit better so they don't feel the need to have to go to places like Switzerland to earn a decent coin, because the immigrants are getting looked after with free dormitories and housing, government grants, everything handed to them on a silver plate to come here to train up to be doctors in our system, and that's all we have is trainees. We don't actually have real doctors. The only long-term serving surgeon that they have at Burnie Hospital is Dr. Purcell, who fixes things like knees and shoulders and stuff. Oh, there's a kid screaming up here. Which is atrocious. I said perhaps we also need to prioritise our funding a bit more into the education system instead of diversity, inclusivity and equity, and start putting it into the reading, writing, arithmetic and sciences so that we have better educated people who, okay, now they can take on their dream job and go through university and become doctors. And then we can have people that understand us and we understand in correspondence instead of trying to figure out what each other's talking about through trial and error. Google quacks that just look at you, you talk to them, they don't even speak back, go to their computer, blah, 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 okay, you need this tablet, they just give you a printout and go, take this to the chemist, and you leave with absolutely no idea what's wrong with you. It could be nothing. They're just pharmacists, they're just drug peddlers. And as I said to her, perhaps you need to go and tell Bradley's dad said, yeah, Jeremy, you know, your boss, Jeremy Rockcliffe. Perhaps you need to go and tell him that perhaps we don't need a football stadium as much as we need beds at Burnie Hospital because they're using recliner chairs. They've had the same old as the hills, 1970s, if not older, recliner chairs for beds in the emergency area. The emergency area is not that big, it's not that exclusive, it's not that extravagant. They've never got beds for anybody. They took tests from somebody, I told her about, they took tests from somebody here a few weeks ago, had nowhere for them to wait in a bed, so they figured to make them comfortable, they'd send them back home, and they went home and died. That actually happened. I said, is football more important than people's health? In a hospital that we've spent an absolute fortune on so rich people can use a radiation machine? What's more important, Chaz Kelly or the homeless bloke on the street? And I said that to him. Shouldn't matter who you are, because they have an oath of duty of care called the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm. So why aren't they honouring that oath? You don't swear an oath if you're not going to honour it. If you're not going to honour an oath, piss off. That oath is there for a reason. Nobody's life is worth more than somebody else's life, nor is it worth any less. And poor thing, it took a while for me to get through to her. You're not understanding me, nor are you comprehending or taking on board the fact that I don't care about this for me. I don't want to, oh, we're very sorry, sweep it under the rug and business as usual. I want some change up there. Not just for me. I'm fine, I don't need them now. For everyone. Things have got to change. We need more balance of ethnicity. Like when I say ethnicity, this is Australia. It's Australian hospital. Australian taxes are paying their wages. Why don't we have Australians in there? No, that's not what's happening, of course. All of our doctors are going to places like Switzerland and Germany, Poland, Brussels, or into the charity, like the so-called international charity bullshit through the United Nations and FEMA. Getting paid a fortune for you to donate $2 a week for what? You know, what do you think the ministries pay for everything for doctors to go to some third world country full of malaria and mosquitoes and do it all for nothing? Get real. Get real. They got a lot of money waiting for them. A lot of money. Why? Well, wouldn't you? An immigrant who gets to come here on a traineeship has their accommodation paid for, their travel paid for, they get a government grant, they get travel paid, they get everything paid for them. To come here and learn at the expense of our taxes. While the Australian doctor, the Australian trainee, who was born here, has to pay for all of his own accommodation, all of his own expenses, his own travel, from his family or from a loan, or to pay off a study debt. For what? For shit money. You see, it's only good money if you don't have to pay for your own existence. That's how that's working in our disadvantage. They don't like to be told that. Why? Because it means that they might have to admit some things. Like how even our health sector was sold out through the Lima Declaration. Like how it's all a scam to not lift the standards of their countries up to ours, but to destroy ours down to the standards of theirs, because people in a destroyed, downtrodden, impoverished country are easily manipulated and controlled. We won't stand up because we might get hungry, we might lose our home, we might not get any welfare benefits. So we're a B grade second-rate citizen in our own country over people who would do us harm. How do we fix that? I've told you before, I've got the proposal. It's my address to the world, to the Commonwealth. Down tools. Starve them out of relevance. Strike, full on strike. Teachers need to strike properly, not strike for more money. They need to strike for better standards. You don't need more money. This is what nobody seems to understand, and this is why teachers of all people should get this. Mathematics teachers should be all over it. Your gold and silver isn't gaining value. It hasn't gained a cent ever since a certain amount of gold would buy you the finest robes and toga in Rome to the finest tailored suit today. Exactly the same amount of gold or silver. The value of the dollar has been destroyed. The purchasing power of the dollar has been destroyed. It's not that you're getting more money for your gold and silver. It just costs you more to buy. That's the difference between whether you're selling it or buying it. So your shiny rocks, oh, by the way, in the wartime economy or in extreme debt situations when the Reserve Bank of Australia runs out of bonds that anybody's interested in, and countries decide, like in the wartime economy, import-export of resources tends to stop, which means the economy stops, which means how do they fund more brass and lead with your gold and silver? Precious metals, eh? It's only precious to them. Do you know what to do with gold to make medicine? No. Do you know how to process it to make microchips and silicon chips? Like Silicon Valley? No. It's useless to you. It's worthless. It's not worth any more than a piece of gravel off the road. It's just, you can spit on it and make it shiny. It's a shiny rock. Why are diamonds worth so much? They're only any good for cutting glass. That had something to do with Marilyn Monroe. And the whole scam of, oh, you need to have a diamond ring to propose for engagement. No, you don't. Says who? Says who? What a joke. Is that he? There might be someone here. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I think I might have a visitor. We'll have a look with it. Huh? What's this? Oh, you're going to fucking pine cone the toilet again. No. Oh. I won't wrap it up. Huh? You're right. Here's the problem right here. Look at this. This DoorDash bullshit. Laughing at us, spending a fortune on shit food that we're paying 3 times too much for now because you just paid someone to deliver it. By the way, I didn't order that. Someone staying here did. So, we're all being duped, people. We're being stitched up. It's a transfer of wealth. It's a transfer of wealth and a surrender of our own autonomy. It's a pizza shop delivers the pizza, basically free of charge. DoorDash, how much do they charge for DoorDash? What, $10, $15? Or Uber Eats? So you're now paying 10, 15 or whatever dollars more for something that wasn't worth what you was paying for it even if you went to pick it up. We're not very bright, are we? Convenience has made us too lazy. Anyway. So anyway, yeah, back to it. That's how things have gone with the Minister for Health. Oh, Dan, like we can't just smooth this guy over with a bit of margarine and say sorry, sweep it under the rug and it goes away. No, it doesn't. Not at all, nor should it. Your complaint is everyone's complaint. Not just yours. Don't be so selfish. That's the same as, oh, if we give you some money, will you shut up? No, I don't want money. I want things to change. I don't want a sorry. I want things to change. That's why I'm a thorn in their side. It's got nothing to do with me and everything to do with the hospital. I told them that. I said, I don't care, but it's not about me. It's about the hospital. No, I don't want them to contact me so they can say sorry. I want them to do their fucking job properly. I hold myself to a pretty damn high standard. Why? Because then I have the right to hold others to the same standard. So politicians, piss off or lift your game.